Hello, I am Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, April 11, 2018, 12:04 a.m. I was in the middle of doing this blog, and my camera just shut down, just went away, so I had to crank it back up and get everything back up in place. But let me tell you what, right now, I'm tired of doing hellfire and brimstone and want to lighten the load a little bit. So let me tell you something that happened to me right here. You'll appreciate it. I'm remodeling my kitchen and my den, and I'm doing it by myself because I don't have any help. And I stripped out all of my kitchen. I gave away all the cabinets to a friend of mine. I gave the appliances and some of the cabinets to Habitat, where they build homes for people who need that. And so I gave my appliances. And I gave everything I had, even my furniture. It's all gone but one single recliner. And so stripping everything out, took out the tile where the kitchen was, and you can see it kind of in that right-hand corner over there where that bare wall is on the bottom. My microwave was sitting where that yellow tag is. But that note says, "I'm hot, don't touch me." So I'm putting these beams up, my load-bearing beams. The load-bearing post you see kind of in the middle there, not in the middle, but they're where I wanted them because of how I laid out my kitchen. So on the right, I have a 10-foot span. On the left, I have a 15-foot span. And I'm not able to hold that heavy of a load-bearing beam. So I had to build it myself, and I built them out of 2x12s. So I would build a cradle for them, and I'd have a dead man at one end, and I would put one end on the dead man, and one end's on a 4-foot ladder. Then I'd move it over to a 10-foot ladder. The other end, I'd climb up on a 6-foot ladder, and then I would work it from there and shove it up in the cradle I had made for it. I made the cradle about 1/8 of an inch higher than the beam so that it would go in okay. So I put one beam in, and then I cut a sandwich of 1 by 1/2 inch plywood, the length of the beam, the width of the beam, and put it in place. Then I screwed it in with some sheetrock screws to hold it in. Then I went with my other 2x10, put it up, and then I started drilling holes in them. And I drilled about 30 holes in the 10-foot, and then the 15-foot beam there on the left, that's treated on the left, much heavier. I drilled about 40 to 50 holes, and all total I got 70 holes. And I drilled them all with that Makita drill right there, most of them anyway. So I stripped out my tile, put hardwood in, and also had tile at the front door and the back door. I removed all that. I put hardwood in its place. So I had a trash bin. The trash bin has, well, what you see, it's broken sheetrock in it. It has all the walls that were in it that I've cut out, and it had plumbing in it, the pipe and the copper, and wiring, all the wiring I had taken out, everything, all the trash, all the tile, the backer board under the tile, that cement board under the tile, and the 1,000 screws that held it down, all went into that trash pile. I am drilling 70 holes, and I get to hole number 60, and my Makita locks dead tight in my hands. Quit. Locked up. Set it aside. Thought I'd well let it cool off. Maybe it'll be okay. Didn't do nothing. So when I carried my next load of trash out, I carried the Makita with it, and I threw it in the trash bin. Keep in mind, there's sheetrock in there, broken sheetrock, plumbing, sheetrock dust, sand, wood shavings, not from sanding. I hadn't started sanding yet. But wood shavings from all the drilling I've been doing, and just all the trash that's in that bin was in there with Makita. 10 days. And I ordered a new battery, 18 volt, 2 days before this drill broke. Battery came in, so it sat on my desk for 8 of those 10 days. So I'm looking on the internet to buy a used or rebuilt Makita. Cheapest I found was $109 without a battery. And I said, well, I got a battery I just ordered, and I bought one 6 months ago, so I'll just order that one drill. Well, in the meanwhile, I was looking at the drill, the pictures they had, and I saw 4 screws in the back on the left side of the drill right there. And I said, you know what, maybe I can take that back off, and maybe there's something inside that drill I can repair. I went out to that trash pile, and I got that drill. I brought it in the house. It was soaking wet. It had been rained on 4 times. It's been frozen twice. And it had more dust on it. I couldn't even tell what it was. And I didn't know where it was until I could actually feel, well, this is the drill, but I couldn't make it out. It was white and dust and wood shavings. So I got it out and I cleaned it out, blew it out with air hose, and I hung it up and let it dry over heat slowly for 2 days. And I took that battery that sat on my desk for those 8 days. By now, it's been 12 days. So I'm looking at the drill and I said, well, there are 4 screws. Maybe I can take those screws out. So that battery's still sitting there. And I'm thinking to myself, well, wonder if they sent me a battery that's charged. Not even thinking about it, I plugged the battery into the drill, and I'll be damned, it came on. Guys, I just want to tell you, here's how you fix your Makita. I bought it in 2008. I built 44 houses. I didn't actually build them. I was the builder over 16 crews that was building 44 houses. I oversaw them, and I started one every 18 days. But I built 44 houses. That's in one location. And I bought that Makita drill halfway through that. Now, 10 years later, it breaks. And I said, well, it lasted 10 years and it's been through a lot of hell and brimstone itself. So it's time to get rid of it. So I did. But I've got 2 corded DeWalt drills and another 20 volt drill, but it's, they're not Makita. Makita goes with me in my car, when I go places. But let me tell you what happened. After cleaning that thing off, popping that battery in, and it came on, I was shocked. I was like, what? It worked. So this is a fluke. Something, what happened? I brought it in the house, and I had to move some vents, cut them out and move them over inches so that cabinets will go, and because their cabinets are going in different places. So drilling the support back in so I can lay some hardwood on top of it to screw that into place because they're going to be under the cabinets. Drill works fine. This is not a plugging a Makita commercial. It's just the simple fact that thing died in my hands after drilling 60 holes, 9/16 hose for 1/2-inch bolts that would pull those beams together and use a 12-ton bottleneck jack and 2 floor jacks to jack it up, get the bow out, and then tighten them down, and then nail them, and then jack them up and shim them on each end and get them tight. Now my load-bearing beam's in place, my drill still works, and that's how you fix it. Throw it in the trash, leave it 10 days, let it rain on it 4 times, let it freeze 2 times, bring it in, clean it up, pat that battery on the butt, shove it in there, and it will work. Jody Wolf, Expoz.